body, take some heat.
Y'all, I'm gonna talk about my fandom journey because I was thinking about it and I was just like, when did I really get into fandom culture? Well, I don't know. I feel like I've never really gotten into fandom culture. Not deep. Well, I don't know. I guess it just depends on how you look at it. Like, I've always enjoyed different works of media throughout my life, whether it be like pieces of fiction or like artists I've liked. But I don't know, I feel like I've never really been a part of like fandom culture, like interacted with fandom culture in the same way. Like I have and I haven't at the same time. So like when I was really young, I feel like the earliest fandom I've ever been in was like the Michael Jackson fandom. Like I was a moonwalker when I was really young. I was obsessed with MJ and his music since I was really little, like I don't know, since I was like 5. Yeah. Cuz he died in 2009 and I would think I was like turning 6 at the time when he died. So yeah, I've been obsessed since I was like 5 years old. And so I've been a part of this fandom, and I was really like heavily a part of like my heavy moonwalker days was probably in like middle school. I think middle school was like my heavy moonwalker days. Like it was bad. It was like bad. It was unhealthy, like actually. Like I know people talk about obsession being unhealthy, but this was like actually bad. Like I was like I would cry and cry myself so hard that I was throwing up. It was bad. It was just bad. Like looking back, looking back on those days, I was just like, maybe I was just like going through it, because why was I so deep in the moonwalker trenches that I was crying myself to sleep, almost like throwing up damn near every night? Like that's crazy. But to be fair, around middle school was rough for me, so I kind of see how that could have happened now that I think about it. Upon reflection, I'm realizing that it makes sense why that happened the way it did. But aside from being a moonwalker, I also, like when I was really young, like elementary, throughout like late elementary towards middle school, I really enjoyed the Harry Potter series. I enjoyed the Harry Potter series a lot. Like I think I started reading the Harry Potter books when I was in 4th grade, and I think I finished them in 6th grade. And I also really liked the Percy Jackson series. I read Dork Diaries and Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I also read the Divergent series. And also, I read Twilight. Well, not all of Twilight, because funny story. When I was in, what was it? I think I was in 9th grade. Yeah. No, 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 not ninth grade. I was in sixth grade. I was in sixth grade. And my mom, she loves the Twilight books and the movies. So she had all the books and I wanted to read them. So I was in sixth grade and I asked her to read them. And so she told me, she made me like she gave me some rules, I guess. And she said, you can read Twilight and New Moon, but you can't read Eclipse. Wait, was it? Yeah, is it Eclipse? Yeah, she said you can't read Eclipse or Breaking Dawn until you're in ninth grade. And girl, I was not having that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because being in sixth grade, why do I have to wait 3 whole school years to read the next 2 books? I was bald. I was like, at this point, I shouldn't even read these at all. Because why do I have to wait 3 whole school years? I was so mad about that. I was just like, ma'am, what's the point of even letting me start to read it, if I have to wait 3 school years to freaking read the rest of the series? Because one thing about me is, once I start something, especially when it's like a book series and I really I really like it, I'm really into it, I cannot just like not read the rest. Like, that's crazy. So what I did was I read the first 2, right? And the school I was going to at the time, I don't know if it's because the school I went to was like a magnet school, and that in which the grade levels was like 6th grade through 12th grade, so it was middle school and high school in the same like in the same school. And so the library was vast, girl. That library was one of the best school libraries I've seen. Yeah, throughout my grade school years, like that library was fantastic. And they had the Twilight books, and so my ass decided to just check out Eclipse in the library. Mind you, I did bring it home, but I did sneak it. But the thing is, my mom found out because we ended up moving from the state I was from. We ended up moving to a whole different state, and I've been in this state ever since. And once we were moving, she found the book and she was so upset with me. But I was just like, I mean, like, I understand why she was upset. Don't get me wrong. I truly do. Truly. However, I was just like, Bob, you cannot expect me not to just not read the books. And to be fair, Eclipse is not that crazy. Like, I read it. I never ended up reading Breaking Dawn. But Eclipse was not that crazy. Like, to be fair, I was just like, at this point, you should have just made me wait to read the whole series when I was in ninth grade. If you're gonna make me wait to read the rest of it read the rest of it until ninth grade, like, wait to read it. But anyways, that was like some of my earlier experiences of like media I was really into. However, I've never, because I know people who, you know, when like early on in their life, they have like media that they really enjoyed, and they get into like fan fiction. They were on Tumblr and Wattpad, yada 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 yada, whatever, and other platforms or whatever, and interacting with fandom that way. That was not me. Like, I was not introduced to fan fiction and shipping and all this other random stuff in fandom culture until maybe like 7th grade. Like, I did not know anything about anything. And like, even when I was younger, like, when it came to like Harry Potter, because I was pretty into Harry Potter. Like, I had the Harry Potter game, I had all the books, whatever, and other like book series and stuff I really liked. I wasn't really that into TV shows and stuff, so I mean there's TV shows I liked, but there wasn't anything that like constituted me like being a super fan of. So there's nothing like that I can think of, I guess. Well, I don't know. Because, I don't know. It's just so weird now that I think about it. Because it's like, compared to like the fandoms I'm in now and how I interact with being in these fandoms now and how much more passionate I am about it, it just feels so different the way I interact with certain things now compared to then. Because it's not like I wasn't passionate. Like, trust me, I was like obsessed with the Divergent series, with Harry Potter, but I don't know, I just don't interact with the media I like the same way. I also really liked Monster High when I was younger. I still do now, obviously. Like, I still really love Monster High. I liked Monster High a lot. I also liked Bratz and whatnot. But I don't know. I just like I don't know if I'm explaining this the best, but I'm like trying to gather my thoughts in real time. Like as I'm doing this voiceover. I knew I should have written down key points, but I was just like, fuck it. I'm a free ball, you know? But I don't know. It was just like back then I kind of just took everything as it was, if that makes sense. Like when I got into something, like for instance, because I mainly read a lot, like I read a lot, like of course I watched TV and stuff, but like the television I watched wasn't anything that would like hook me to the point where I'm like hyper fixated and like deeply like obsessed with that media. Like there was no show. Like of course there was shows I really liked. Like I really loved My Little Pony, which is why I'm recreating My Little Pony characters in The Sims right now, as you can see on the screen, as humans. I really liked My Little Pony as a show. I also really liked Monster High, and I watched other random shows that I liked, but I wouldn't say I'm like a deep part of their fandom. And I say that because for me personally, to be a part of a fandom, I feel like you would have to like be involved or at least know your stuff or care and be passionate about it. I'm not necessarily passionate about so many of these pieces of media, I guess, when I was younger, that I liked when I was younger. Like the stuff that I liked when I was younger, I enjoyed them, but I was never like super fixated on them. I guess the biggest thing when I was really young, like elementary to like 6th grade, no, to like middle school, was Michael Jackson. I feel like that was like the only thing that was actually super fixated on and very passionate about. Everything else, though I loved it and really enjoyed consuming the actual like books and or TV show or whatever, or movies, whatever that may be, although I really enjoyed it, I never went further. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like I never went further. You know how, because some of my friends and stuff, or even people online that I watched who talk about their fandom experiences and talk about how when they were younger they like really enjoyed this piece of media and then they found fan fiction for the first time, or started shipping characters and fan art and stuff. Like I never really did that. I guess the closest, I think the only time I ever like, because I also love to draw. Side note, I'm an artist. I love to draw. I've been drawing since I was little, like since like kindergarten. I've always been drawing and doodling and shit. And I would always draw like original characters, and the only time I can think of drawing fan art, or before I even, when I first encountered fan art and actually like knew what that was like in 7th grade. So let's talk about 7th grade, because that's when I started being introduced to like actual like heavy pieces of fandom culture, which is like fan art, fan fiction, etc., etc. When I moved, because it was at the end of 6th grade when we moved states, and when I started 7th grade in the new state, I made friends, and those friends were into anime. Mind you, I never really watched anime. I knew about Dragon Ball Z and like Pokemon and stuff, and Yu-Gi-Oh and whatnot, and Naruto, I guess. But I never really cared or was interested in anime. Still not, to be quite honest. I'm still not really into anime. I've watched more, for sure, than I ever did when I didn't know about it for real. But yeah, I'm not really into anime. I'm not gonna lie. But my friends were, and one of the ones that the first two that I was really introduced to, besides like Dragon Ball, Pokemon, Sailor Moon, stuff like that, they told me about Black Butler and Fairy Tail, and that's why on this channel, that's why on this channel, the two like the anime Smasher Pass series I created, the first two were Fairy Tail, and then I made one about Black Butler, because those were like the first two that I was really introduced to and really got me started on fandom culture. So it was in 7th grade. Some of my friends, they introduced me to that, and with that they introduced me to fan fiction and Wattpad specifically, and fanfiction.net, and they introduced me to lemons. Which I don't think people call it lemons. Do people call smutty fix lemons anymore? I don't know. I don't know if that's like the thing people do now. I mean, I don't really call them lemons anymore, but that's what I was introduced to them as, and that's what I did call them in middle school. And so, like, my friends, one's friend specifically, they were into both Black Butler and Fairy Tail, amongst plenty of other animes too. But those are just like the key, like the core start of where it all started for me. They introduced me to Wattpad and like X readers, so I would read like Sebastian X Reader or CLX Reader, and and they would also write their own fan fictions and stuff. And I also really like writing, like creative writing and stuff, ever since I was little as well. And I always loved to this is like a thing that's carried on throughout my life. I've always enjoyed writing and like creating stories, making up characters, yada yada. And so I was no stranger to writing fictional pieces and stuff. Like, even in 6th grade, I had this friend. Her name was Aurora. She was so cool. She was like this like scene kid, and she loved Andy Biersack and Brendan Urie, but she really loved Andy Biersack. And she had me write a fanfiction for her about Andy Biersack. And that was like one of the first times I've ever written fan fiction, because I would write like fictional stories, but I never wrote like a story based on a piece of media or like an artist or whoever, you know. So that was like one of the first times. And then when I was introduced to like Fairy Tail and Black Butler, I also began to write lemons, bro. I recall specifically, I had this composition notebook, and I literally titled it on the front Book of Lemons. Like, who was I? Like, what? And I had my name in it. And I only wrote like two little short stories, like one shots in there about like Sebastian and a maid. And it was a lemon story. They're all lemon stories, hence the name Book of Lemons. It was just so ghetto. Like, girl, I was like in seventh grade, and I remember I lost that book too. Like, I don't even know where it was. And when I went to high school, I still didn't know where it was. I still didn't know where it was. Like, bitch, I lost that freaking story. And I would also make so many other like random original stories too that were also like smutty, and I would make my friends read them. And my friends would swear that they were good. They were not good. They were not good. Trust me. And I also did some of fairy tale. Me and my friend, one of my friends specifically, we would sometimes write together. Like, sometimes I'll write a few lines and then she'll write a few lines, and then we'll just like go back and forth. Sometimes we'll bounce ideas off each other, or it was fun times. It was a good time. It was a good time. Like, although it was like a little cringe and like a little like eye roll, like, girl, what were y'all doing? It was fun, and I still do shit like this to this day. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, I still do stuff like this to this day. Um, but yeah, and also fan art, because one of my friends as well would had like a binder of fan art they drew for different animes and stuff, and I was like, wow, like, I didn't even know I could do that. And so I remember call I think some of the first pieces of fan art I drew was of Grell. I drew Grell. I think I drew CL and Sebastian as well. And then I drew like some FNAF fan art because I was also into FNAF. Not as heavily, so I wouldn't say I was necessarily in the fan. Well, I guess. I had my little Minecraft and FNAF arc too, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would play the games, I would watch videos about it. Used to watch Minecraft YouTubers and FNAF. I used to watch FNAF theory videos, and I would also watch FNAF and Minecraft music videos. They were good, actually. I'm not gonna lie. They were actually kind of fire. But I don't know if I would consider myself. I guess that could be part of the fandom, because I used to actually use Minecraft profile pics and look up Minecraft fan art. So actually, yeah, I guess I could have been considered a part of those fandoms for a little bit, I guess. Um, but yeah, those were some early experiences. And then now we're talking. Now we're talking. Now, I was still in my Moonwalker era at this time as well. I think I really got out of my heavy Moonwalker era probably like early high school. Um yeah, probably early high school. And then, not to say I still like Michael Jackson's music. I wouldn't say I'm like a moonwalker, not as like horrendously obsessive as I used to be. Like, that was unhealthy. What that was last time, well, in my past, was unhealthy. Like, and and once, I think it was just because I was in a bad place, because every fandom I've been in after that has not been unhealthy. And I think it's also because I've gotten older. Like, I'm 22 now. I shouldn't be I shouldn't be as like down bad as I was when I was like 12. So um yeah. But after that, around about like 2016, 2017, so I was like 8th grade, ninth grade era, that's when I discovered BTS. Bangtan Sonyeondan, and that's when I really knew what it was like to healthily be a part of a fandom, like for real. And so I was an army. That's the start of when I became an army. When I saw, well, like some of my friends knew about it before. Like I heard about them in like 2015 and some other, like I heard of 17, BTS, other groups, um but I was never really interested. And then I my interest was piqued when I saw some reactors. It was actually what's their names? Dwayne and Jazz. I used to watch them a lot. And I saw they had a reaction video to BTS. To like I think it was like the Dope MV and Blood, Sweat and Tears. And I was interested. I was like, oh my god, I like this. This is interesting. And then my friends, a lot of my friends in my friend group got really into them. And so then I was sparked on to getting more into them. And I was intrigued by their music. But also, to be quite honest, I was low-key, I don't know. It was weird because I was low key a hater, but I was low key not. So like, I was low key a hater at first because I was just like, girl, what is this? But at the same time, my interest was piqued because I was like, this is different. It was an interesting time. Let's just say that. It was a love-hate relationship. But then I really got into it. I really did get into it, and ever since that time, especially when like Spring Day came out and Not Today and all that, I was like, okay. And then especially once like Love Yourself her, when like Mic Drop and DNA and all that came out, I was like, okay. I was getting into the bag. And then when Love Yourself Tear came out, I was like really deep in that bag. And ever since then, ever since like, yeah, 8th grade, 9th grade, I was hooked. And so that sparked my journey, my army journey. And how I've interacted with the army fandom, I'm not really a big fandom person when it comes to like social media and stuff. Like I'm not gonna be under the comments and like arguing with people or like other stuff. Like I don't know, I'm just not, that's just not me. Like the most, when it comes to being in fandoms that I've noticed, I usually interact by like, I guess the most I've interacted was like posting on Wattpad. And I've posted fan art before, but usually when I do draw fan art, I usually just keep it to myself because I don't know, I'm just not like I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know. When I get into stuff, it's hard for me to like broadcast it because I'm not doing it for the internet necessarily. Not to say that people who do that, like post on social media constantly, are doing it for the internet. It's just, I don't know, it's just really hard for me because I'm just like, I'm just doing it because I enjoy it, and I don't really care to like post. But I did end up during like high school, I think it was like mainly during COVID and stuff, where I was like in 11th grade, 12th grade, where I was posting on Wattpad. Ooh. I was like 15, I think, when I started posting on Wattpad. It was like BTS, and it was mainly Vmin. I was really in my Vmin era, my Vmin bag, and I was posting on Wattpad. I posted, I kid you not, 5 completed stories. Those are the only completed ones. I posted way more than 5. Trust me. I deleted them, but I posted way more than 5. But the 5 stories that are still on my Wattpad are completed. The rest of them I deleted because I didn't end up finishing them. But between the ages of like 15 through 17, I completed 5 Demon stories, amongst others that I did write and never finished. um, and some of them racked some nice amount of reads. I still have them on there. I do plan on sharing them on this channel because let's be embarrassed and cringed out together, you know? Like, if I have to be embarrassed, and I'm not even necessarily embarrassed, I just think it's funny. If I have to cringe, you do too. You do too. So yeah, I I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I might just do a couple. I might just do my 2 most popular books and then read those. And I know which one I started with because I already recorded the first chapter. But I think I'm gonna just do a couple chapters at a time and make it a series, because the first book I chose, which is I think my first or second most popular, I don't remember, but that has like 30 something chapters. Not to say it doesn't have like a whole bunch of words each chapter, but like there's like 30 something chapters, so it's quite long. But yeah, I had my Veman phase. That was my OTP. There was other ships I read too. But I don't think I've written about any ships other than Veman when it comes to BTS. I also had a BTS X reader phase too. Not my best time. I don't know why I was reading X readers. You know why? You know why? I know why. Because I didn't really know about shipping. Like, I just didn't really know that was a thing. Like, I just realized that. I didn't know that shipping was I guess, like, I thought shipping was weird. I didn't know people did that. Yeah, that I just realized that. Like, I didn't really think to ship 2 people together in 2 pieces of media, or 2 artists or whatever. Like, I just didn't think about it. But I don't even know how. I don't even remember how I even saw, like, somehow got into like shipping. I don't know. I don't even remember. I know it started off with like Taekook. I do know that. And Yoonmin. Taekook and Yoonmin were my original, but I feel like that's like the gateway when it comes to BTS ships. I feel like those are like some of the gateways, like Yoonmin, Taekook, Namjin, shit like that, or even Soap. Like, I feel like those are like the um basic shit. Even Jikook, but I was never really into that. But yeah, I don't. That was a part of my past. Me personally, now I'm not that into shipping real life people anymore. That was like a part of my um my youth. Well, I'm still young, but that was part of my adolescence, my pre-adulthood, I guess you can say. Um yeah, because I don't really make it a habit to ship real life people anymore. I just don't feel that comfortable doing that. Like, I get like cute little fun, but I was like passionate about it. Like, I was like in Delululand a little bit. Like, I would never argue with people. Like, I wasn't bad where I would like argue with people on the internet or anything, or like talk shit, because that's like actual crazy behavior. But I was in Delululand. And I was very passionate about Veman especially. And I was just like, girl, if you don't get over yourself, that's a little, like, we don't know these people. Let's not. So, yes, now I feel like shipping, especially when it comes to artists, and especially when you get more specific, talking about K-pop, I feel like as long as you keep it cute, like make sure it's not getting so big to the point where it's like interfering with the actual idols. Like, let's not do that, and stuff like that. And you're not being like overly fucking weird about it. Like, I don't know. And just keeping it cute, keeping it light, keeping it fun. Like, cause I get it. It can be like a fun little thing, like just for funsies. But once it gets too serious, it's just like, what are we doing? Let's get out of Delulu land, guys, and get into reality. Like, do you not have a life? That's what it's giving. So yeah, I don't make it a habit, but I get it. Like, there's still, like, I still love Veman and other BTS ships, like all the ships really, because they all love each other. And amongst other groups too, there's like ships that I like because it's cute, it's fun. Just seeing people paired together can be fun, but I don't make it a habit to take it too far, So yeah, that's it about that. Now, before we get to my ultimate fandom the thing that I'm obsessed with. Before we get to that, I'm going to talk about some other groups that I guess I can say I'm in their fandoms. I guess because, I don't know, I feel like BTS is like being an army for me. I say I'm an army and I rep that because I'm just like, I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. Like, I've been in this army lifestyle for, let's think, what year is it? Like, hold on, let me think. I've been in the army fandom for like 7 or 8 years, something like that. So yeah, I am not new to this. I'm true to this. They've been a big part of my life, and I feel like being an army has helped me a lot because it's brought me joy. It's brought me joy, and I really love their music. I think that's the core of it. Like, their discography never gets old. Love them. Like, aside from them as personalities, I just really love their music. I think that's why I've really lasted in this fandom. And it just makes me happy, and I have good memories. Like, when I think about my years of being in an army, I just have good memories. And so, I don't know, I really enjoy um, being in this fandom. So yeah, that's why, and I really am passionate about them and their music. And I've just been in the fandom for so long, and I know so much that it's just easy for me to claim, being an army. And when it comes to other groups, even if I do really like them, I feel like there's like almost none that I'm as passionate about as BTS. So, with the exception, I have recently really come to love X-Love, and I want to see where they go in the future, and I'm really into them. There's other groups I really like. I love Twice, I love Cat's Eye, I love ATEEZ and Hypen, and stuff like that. But groups and TXT and Dreamcatcher, I love Dreamcatcher. But I don't know, I feel like I still can't claim to be in their fandoms because I just don't. It's not like, how I am with BTS, it's just not the same, and I don't think it can be. But I feel like a group that's close is X-Love. I almost was like that I would say, with Cat's Eye, but my thing with Cat's Eye is I feel like I feel like with Cat's Eye, I really love the members, and I think they're all talented and beautiful and stunning and amazing. Love their personalities. And I love the choreo and how they're able to perform on stage. Love all that. Because I also love to dance. And one thing about me, I love a group or an artist that can perform the house down, that can serve charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent on stage. Um, and they do that. However, one thing that's missing for me, which is a big part, it's a big part for me as a musician, is the discography. And I know they haven't been out for a long time. However, they have 2 EPs, and those 2 EPs have not been doing it for me. They're not bad, but I feel like it's not anything that's like shaking the ground. Like, it's not making me fucking kick and jump in my fucking boots. Like, it's not doing enough for me. So we'll see what they're going. I'm still watching them. I'm still a fan. Still love Cat's Eye. Like, I feel like I'm like a halfway icon. So yeah, I'm still watching for them. Still seeing what they are gonna have in store, I guess, in the next couple years. I just hope the discography gets better. That's all I'm saying. I just hope, but yeah, now we're on to the big guns, the fandom that I am loud and proud. Besides being an ARMY, like, I only claim 2 fandoms right now, and that's being an ARMY. Wait, I'm lying. Okay, 3. 2.5. No, 3. 3. I would say 3. Is being an ARMY, being an evil, which is X-Love's fandom, because I'm really loving them so far. Especially me as a queer person, it just feels like I'm seen. But the third fandom, and the biggest one, because I'm obsessed, and I've been obsessed for like 2 years now, is being in the MDZS fandom. And if you see my channel, you know I love MDZS. I have like 3 or 4 videos about MDZS. No, like 4 or 5 maybe. Yeah, like 4 or 5 videos about MDZS on this damn channel. Because I'm obsessed, and I love that book series down. Love it so incredibly much. Like, I am just enamored. Like, honestly, I can make a whole dedicated video on why I love this book series so much. I actually might do that, because I can really just talk about it all day. I can make an essay. I can make a PowerPoint. Like, I can make a whole dissertation on why I love this series so incredibly much, and why I love the main pairing, Wangshin, so much. Yeah, they're the first canonical, the first canon ship or pairing that I've liked, or that I've been into, I guess, or yeah, I guess, if that's what you wanna call it. Yeah, because, well, I guess, yeah, they're the only one, but I don't really have much of a reference for anything else, because anything else, I was never like a shipper. I'm actually still not, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not a big shipper. Like, all the books I read are mainly like fantasy or horror, or like a psychological fiction. Like, really, I don't really read romance. Like, I don't ever read a book specifically looking for romance. So I guess that's why I was never drawn towards shipping people. Like, of course I've read romantic books, but not really, actually. I don't know. I've read like I mainly read like, yeah, like I said, fantasy, horror, thrillers, and like mysteries and psychological fiction. And I've read dramas too, like that, like teeny bopper. Like I've read what's it called, Angus Thongs and the Sex God or whatever the hell that book series is called. And I've read other little stuff like that. But I don't know. I've never thought to ship anyone. Like, I don't know. That was just never my first instinct. So, even when it came to like Harry Potter and Percy Jackson and stuff like that, I never thought to ship anyone. I really did. Like, hearing that Harry Potter has popular ships like Drarry and Hermione and I don't know the other ship names, but I just never knew that was a thing. And it's funny because my best friend is deep into Hermione, mind you. I don't even think she's read the books. She might have watched the movies. I don't know if she's watched all of them, but I think she just likes the ship alone, which is valid. But for me, who has read all the books, I just like I get the appeal, but that was never my instinct. Like when I was younger, especially when like at the time when I was reading those books, I just never thought to like I don't know, I just never thought to ship anyone. Yeah, yeah, that was just never the case, I guess. So yeah, it's just interesting cuz even to this day, I don't really do that. Like if there's something I'm into, I usually don't automatically go to shipping them. Mainly especially when I'm like watching a TV series or a movie or reading a book series. Mainly when I'm reading a book series because I don't really watch a lot of TV shows or movies like that. Like, I don't know, I feel like my tastes in these medias are very unique. Like, not unique, but they're not necessarily unique, but I think they're like particular. Like, what I look for in books and TV shows and movies and stuff is very particular. Like, I like very, especially mainly when it comes to like TV and movies, I like very campy, whimsical, fantastical, like, or like very thought provoking, like psychologically what's it called, uh something that fucks with you, I guess. Like that's the kind of shows and movies that I enjoy. Just really unserious. Or not even just unserious, but like very what's it called? Mm, not eclectic. What's the word? I can't think. I don't know. It's so late. My brain is fried. Like I just got off work too. But yeah, I just like really weird stuff when it comes to movies and TV shows. I think it's because I think it's because movies and TV shows is really heavily dependent on acting and directing and the writing as well, obviously, but when it comes to comparing and contrasting them with books, the main difference is having to physically watch people acting scenes out. And writing a book versus writing a TV show or a movie is different, I would assume, or like even writing a play. I'm pretty sure that's also pretty different. And so you also have to like direct people on how you want them to act and whatnot. So I just think that's why it's kind of harder for me to really immerse myself in that kind of media. So I think that's why my tastes are so particular. I think that's why my tastes are so particular when it comes to that. Because, and picky, I even would say they're a little picky. I am pretty picky when it comes to like visual media or cinema, whatever you want to call it. I am pretty picky because I don't know. I feel like it's really hard for me to get immersed in that if it's not done well or if it's not a specific like vibe. Even with books, I do have specific genres that I do prefer. But yeah, those are just my preferences. So yeah, I think so, since my preferences don't really lean towards like heavy romance, it's not, I guess it makes sense why shipping isn't like my instinct, I guess, but I don't know. Cuz even I don't know actually. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think the first time I've ever really got into a ship was through like reading a book was or a book series was MD's Yes. And they're a canon pair, so it's not like a random ship I really got into. They are the main relationship in the story. But what I also like about MD's Yes and why I like it so much is because the actual story is really good, and I really like the characters, and I really like the main characters who are the main pairing. But it's like a fantasy story as well, so that checks off that box. It's fantasy. And yeah. Um yeah. Yeah. It checks off boxes. The box for me. And even if there wasn't a romantic element, I think I would still really enjoy the book series. So there's that. But I am glad they have Wangshin because I'm obsessed. I love them so much. They are very near and dear to my heart. Mainly because I really like them as individuals, and I also really love how they complement each other as a pairing. I just think their dynamic is really unique and fun. Um, yeah, I think they're so unexpected in some ways. Like there's things about them that are just you like I feel like their dynamic, especially when it comes to like their aesthetic and how they look and how their personalities are. I feel like the dynamic that they have is so unexpected, I guess, or against the grain from what people would normally do. So I think that's why it works so well, because it's also done well, it's written well, and I think that helps. And I really enjoy it. Um but yeah, I I don't know what else to say. I'm tired of yapping. I'm like it's like 1 in the morning and I have work tomorrow, which I don't want to go. I don't want to go to work. But it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Um I'm probably gonna read some Wangshin fanfiction right now. But that's the thing too. I don't read a lot of fanfiction. The only fanfiction I read is about MDs, yes. Um yeah. I pretty much only read about MDs. I did used to read a lot of Veeman and Namcook too. I think those are two that I read about a lot when I was really in that BTS shipping era, that BTS shipping arc of my life. And I've read some of Scum Villain because I did read Scum Villain, but I do have some opinions about Scum Villain too. Maybe I could make a video about that. I did enjoy it. I did enjoy the read. However, I do have some gripes, I will say. There are some things that I wasn't the most over the moon about. Things I wasn't very fond of during the read. I mean, it's been a couple months since I've finished the book series, so, and with how bad and like how like yeah, what am I even yapping about? See, this is how you know I'm tired. I don't even know what I just said. But with how shitty my memory is, it's giving I might have to like skim through it again. Because yeah. Anyways, look at my pretty Sims. They're so beautiful.